What is going on? What is going on? What's going on? Shout out to you, Lady Navora. Shout out to you, Bagavad. Good to see you. For some reason, the algorithm is not showing us love this afternoon. Usually, it's because YouTube is not sharing this. So, but it could also be because of the topic. It's so many like variables to that. Nonetheless, this one is going to be a very short one, okay? Because we actually have a topic that we will be doing in about, what time is it right now? It's 4 p.m. In about 3 hours. It's 4 p.m. Mountain time here, okay? So, so is that we need to be more toxic? Yes, exactly. But yes, we're covering the topic later on. That topic is going to be, let's see. That topic is date nights. Can it fix a broken relationship? Okay, so we'll be talking about that in I have some interesting perspective when it comes to date nights. So let's talk about that at that time. So for now, yes, we want to talk a little bit about. I'm not gonna. This one is gonna be literally in the next 20 minutes. We're shutting this down. Yes, I am live. We'll be shutting this down in about 20 minutes. I just have questions for all the obedience. Okay. So what happened was that a friend of mine was supposed to come on. He's or Peter Obi, who is a presidential candidate for the Nigerian presidential election that's coming up in February, March 2023. So he was supposed to be here to answer those questions, but something happened. He had to run to work. So nonetheless, the show must go on, right? So I decided I'm just going to come here and ask this 7 questions plus one bonus questions. And I'm going to allow people, both you that you're watching me live right now and the replay gang, I'm going to allow them to answer the questions in the chat or inside or actually in the comment to your best of your knowledge. Okay? I'm going to let you answer the questions to your best of your knowledge because I'm looking to learn. I have my own questions. Like, for example, one of my opinions is the title you see right now. What is the title again? The title is Peter Obi versus Soludo, who is apparently is present governor of Anambra State. They got into it over the past 24 hours, 48 hours or so, and he had some interesting things to say with regards to his opinion about Peter Obi. So, but one of the things that Peter Obi camp are saying is zero tolerance for corruption. I think that's a bad idea. I personally think that's a bad idea if you want that economy to get back up. Okay? Why? I know it's weird. Again, remember, I generally don't come from a standpoint of right and wrong because we already know what that is. Okay? But we also know that humans are humans and they're going to misbehave, misdo things when it feels right, even if it's wrong. Right? So, and politics has a lot of correlations with romantic relationships. There's a lot there. And why? Because the politicians, they actually play the seduction game on us. They do that. Like on either side, conservative, liberal, right, thieves, holier than thou, is the same. They're all liars at the end of the day. Well, they're liars not necessarily because they want to. They do want to, I think, but sometimes they just don't know what they're getting into. Okay. So that's why you can basically have unrealistic expectations on politicians that have never been in that office before, especially in the United States. So Soludo has some things to say, but of course the obedience, the warfare of of the obedience, the passion that they have for this race to February come 2023, it's not letting them think for the most part. They're not able to think. So I have those questions to help them provoke thinking. These questions are valid, honest questions. I don't have answers for them yet. You may just be able to win somebody over to the obedience so that they can maybe hopefully one day Nigeria will have a new type of leadership. Okay. So what are these questions? I'm just going to run through them. Then we'll shut it down. Then we'll come back in 3 hours, a little bit less than 3 hours, to talk about date night, because that's what we'll talk about here. And by the way, if you're in a marriage or in a relationship and there's a struggle and you're trying to figure things out, make sure you go download the book for free. It's free. But if you really want to support, you can also pick up the Kindle for less than $10, or you can buy the actual book paperback for less than as a matter of fact, let me change this today right now. Okay, there's a different domain name that we're going to be using here, and it's called Love and Prestige. Okay, if you're coming from the Prestige family to go download the book, use this one right here. Use this link, because we need to be able to track where you're coming from. Okay, because yeah, we need to be able to track where you're coming from. So I'm going to try to change that across board here, just to make sure that we are, let's see. All right, let me put that here. All right, so go ahead, and also you can share it with people as well, as many people as possible. And when you get there, there's also opportunity for coaching. Okay, just so you know, there's opportunity for coaching. So yeah, just wanted to make sure we update that. So it's called loveandprestige.com. That's how we're able to track that you're coming from the Prestige family. All right. So yes. What else do I have to say before? Okay, nothing else. Let's get into it. My first question. Why did Peter Obi fail at recruiting SOLUDO as an ally? Okay. Why? Why did he fail at recruiting SOLUDO as an ally? I don't know what kind of thought comes to your mind when you see that question, but give it your best shot. Okay. SOLUDO is the present governor of Anambra State, and they're, apparently they've been friends in the past. If you look at this picture, okay, this is SOLUDO right here. You can see that picture. They're together. I keep telling you, the politicians are the same. They're all together. Yesterday there was a picture of Tinubu and what do you call it? Atiku, right? At some wing at the airport. They are friends at the end of the day. So please do not hurt yourself trying to take sides with these issues. Okay. All right. So that's the question that I have for you. Why did Peter Obi fail at recruiting SOLUDO as an ally, particularly for this election that's coming up? You know that they all switch in Nigeria. People switch from one party to the other, depending on what best suits them. Okay, what best serves them and their family. Unfortunately, that's the situation, and they call it democracy. Okay, so that's my first question. While I'm asking that question, let me see. Now, okay, I see. Okay, see red lipstick vibes. Hey, how you doing? I see Mrs. She said, good to see you. Yeah, come back for the other topic, date night. We're going to talk about that in about 3 hours. This is Nigerian politics I'm talking about here right now. Okay. All right. So please, I need a proper explanation on why is it that Peter Obi was not capable of recruiting SOLUDO as an ally? That's part of his responsibility as a leader. Okay. He needs to start demonstrating being able to recruit align certain type of powerhouses, right? I just need to know, even if you feel like, no, their values don't align and he doesn't want that. Like Shura will probably tell you straight up that I don't want any of these people in my team, right? Which I think is a mistake all in itself. But let's keep it moving. Number 2 question: what is Peter Obi's Anambra investment worth today? There's the answer out there somewhere. But I also see a couple of different opinions all over the place. He invested in a private sector with the government's money when it was there, as some kind of how do you say, creative way to help the government make money. I guess While you're at it, maybe you can explain to me how that makes sense. I'm trying to make sense out of it. Maybe I just don't know enough. I don't know much about politics, okay? But what is that investment worth today? How long ago was that investment made, and what is it worth today, okay? Number 3, MC Oluomo. What does that mean to you when it comes to Nigerian politics? MC Oluomo. What does that mean to you? Give me your answers. What does that mean to you when it comes to Nigerian politics? Okay, I know he's a human being and blah, 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 right? Whatever. Just give me your best shot. What does MC Oluomo mean when it comes to Nigerian politics? Okay. Hey, Prestige. Oh, Nigerian politics, I'm not useful here. We'll wait for another thought. Yeah. We'll just come back in about 3 hours. We'll be talking about date nights. You're good. No worry. Some people, this is particularly for the replay gang. There's a lot. Some of them are very passionate about this race. to February come 2023. All right, but shout out to you, Eunice. The fourth one, how many parties has Peter Obi been involved in? Be honest, okay? And feel free to explain yourself, right? On why he's done that, right? But please, how many parties, political parties, has Peter Obi been involved with over his political career? I am interested in your take on this. Expatiate, elaborate, and I would like to learn. And if we're able to still book the session with the person that was supposed to be a guest, we'll still do it, but it's going to be rough. But I just wanted to engage you all on this topic because I know a good sector of the demographic here are interested in this topic. All right, so number 5, who is coming in second runners up come 2023? Predict. Okay, we know that you think or know that Peter Obi is going to be the winner. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're batified. Maybe you are articulated. Please also feel free to chime in on this conversation. All right, but who do you think is coming in second runners up among all 3 or 50 people running for president in Nigeria in February 2023? Okay. Number six, Peter Obi, this is a quote from him. Everyone had their flaws and shortcomings, myself included. Here's my question for you. What are Mr. Obi's shortcomings? That quote is directly lifted from him. Yes, there was a context to it. If you follow him tightly, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, he was basically telling his social media mob to back off of insulting people or insulting other politicians online. And he said, everyone had their flaws and shortcomings, myself included. What are Mr. Obi's shortcomings? I am interested in your take. These are not yes or no questions. They may require some explanation. Please feel free to tell me in the comment area. I look forward to it. If we don't get comments, this is not a topic we should be talking about here, apparently. But that's fine. We'll be back in about 2 hours and 40 minutes for the talk about date night. Can date night fix romantic relationships? I'd like to know your take on that. So, all right. So number 7, with his zero tolerance, this is the topic of this particular session. With his zero tolerance for corruption promise, he promised that there's going to be zero tolerance for corruption. Of course, an average person is not an economist. For me personally, I'm not an economist either, but this sentence by itself does not solve any problem. Okay, it just doesn't. But I will explain that maybe some other day, right? But anyway, he's going to have zero tolerance for corruption. That's his promise. What are the possible short-term downside of that when it comes to the economy for the common man? The common man will probably like the idea of zero tolerance for corruption, right? But I wonder why the common man is interested in that. Like in Nigeria, let's not cap. An average person is not necessarily the holiest person, right? So I wonder why they're so interested, right? In zero tolerance for corruption promise. What do you think? Why do you think the common man is so interested in this promise, right? What do you think, right? Outside of obviously corruption is bad, right? We all know that, right? So, but yeah, I'll be interested in that. I have one bonus question, right? Hey, D'Souza, we're rounding this up. This is a quick promotion for the show we have coming up in about less than 3 hours. Date nights, does it help fix relationships? Okay, so prepare for that. Come ready and let's talk about that. All right, bonus, what is the proof that Peter Obi is not trying to sell the destiny of the Igbo people to Asiwaju? Where did I get this from the conversations. Some people believe that he's trying to sell, like he's not really running, he's just trying to take all of these votes and sell it to the Asiwaju. I am guessing there's a good chance you don't think that, right? But what is the proof that he's not trying to sell the destiny of the Igbo people to Asiwaju? Maybe you can give me like just three. Give me solid 3 3 different proofs that you think is a good proof that no, this guy is serious, right? But that's a real political game that they play, right? They just all stop dropping off as flies eventually. And then what happens? All of the votes will now gravitate towards one side of the 2 main behemoths, right? So that's just a question that I have for now. So what are we talking about real quickly? Again, I would love to engage you if you want. If you guys want to have this conversation, I would love to do it at some point. But I don't want to waste too much time on it because my range is too thin for the conversation. I'm actually trying to learn. Okay, so if you know enough about this, or you know anybody that knows enough about this, share this video with them. Let's see if they can answer the question. I would like to see some answers, and then maybe we can start dissecting it together. All right. So that's very short and quick. Again, at 7 p.m. Yes, 7 p.m. Did I calculate that properly? Yeah, about 7 p.m. No, let me look at the time. my time zone is all messed up, so I'm looking at two time zones at the same time. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7:30 Mountain Time. Okay, that's about 8:30 Central Time, and that's about 3:30 a.m. Niger time. I think London changes time too, right? They do daytime savings, right? So I'm not sure, but you get the gist. We're going to be back here. We're going to be talking about date nights. Okay. Can it fix a broken relationship? I just hear so much about date nights. I'm starting to wonder how many people are out there practicing date nights? How realistic is this? How often is realistic? What are the different ways that it can improve or actually, dare I say, destroy a relationship? These are some of the things we're going to talk about. All right. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I will see you tonight in about 2.5 hours or so. Peace.